boys and girls, it's Ron Bass with another edition of the Ron Bass Show, your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, and some fun stuff to talk about every once in a while. Mr. Brent Atterbury joining me today, Mr. Marketing Guru himself. So guys, today we are at our new location, actually our existing martial arts school, Same Day Jiu-Jitsu here in Springfield, Missouri. But you know what, Brent? This really feels like the best place in the world to do this podcast because after all, our dojo is all about encouraging people to build their personal confidence. And I just think it's a great fit. So here we go.
Here we go.
We're going to talk about a lot of different stuff today. Our subscribers have asked me, 7 or 8 different subscribers have asked me to talk about different things. So we're just going to go down the list.
Good.
We're going to visit about these requests and kind of go from there. If that be okay with you, sir.
I love it.
I love it when somebody agrees with me. Doesn't happen that often, believe me. Let's see, said the blind man as he picked up his tools and walked away. Come up with these old sayings. Let's see, this subscriber said to me that they have a 14-year-old daughter and she's doing homework, but she's really stressing out about her homework. When I looked at this request, I think that's what they meant. That the article or the thing that they wrote to me was a little bit vague. But we'll talk about homework. We'll talk about stress. We'll talk about how maybe that could go a little bit better. So I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that have kids, and yes, there's a lot of pressure on that student. Probably a lot of peer pressure from other students in the classroom. So my thought is that if you can maybe do your homework after you do some exercise, I think you'll be a little bit more calmed down. And I mean, you could be like doing touch football, you could go take soccer, you could be doing some volleyball, you could go do some swimming. So after school, my suggestion is take your child and do some physical fitness with your child, walk with your child. So when you get back home, it's going to be 4, 5, 6 o'clock range. I think you're going to be in a better frame of mind. I think the child is going to be a little bit more calmed down because those endorphins are going to be flowing and they're just going to feel better in general. So when they start that homework, my theory is that they're going to be able to do it more comfortably, be more accurate about it, and probably have a lot less stress. What say you, sir?
Well, I have another idea,
Okay.
and it's actually from experience, and it
Okay.
seemed to work for us.
Okay.
But we took our kids, and we found that they were also stressed about homework.
Really?
So was mom and dad.
Okay.
And instead of just doing it whenever it felt right to do it, we kind of got on a schedule. And we also got on the schedule earlier than later. In other
Okay.
words, I think a lot of times we all end up doing things at the last minute. And instead of saying, oh, you got to be in bed by 9, so we need to do homework at 8, that's awful because there's too much stress.
Okay.
So I think right after they got home from school, before they got too involved in anything fun,
Okay.
because going from fun to homework isn't fun.
Okay.
So we jumped right on the homework.
Jumped right on it.
We did. We jumped right on the homework, knocked it out, and so they knew right when they got home from school, if they got the homework done, then it was fun the rest of the day.
Well, these are 2 different approaches, guys, but hey, you know what? Try them both, see what you think, and then send me a message back. And in the meantime, I'll do some more research on this sort of thing, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Another one of our subscribers was talking about how to pick their friends better, how not to pick friends that are going to be negative, or how not to hang out with people that are negative. Well, you have to really pick and choose your friends wisely. I've been through this so many times in my life where you get sort of conned into a relationship. And I don't mean necessarily a romantic one, just a friendship. And after a while, you find out that that person is very disingenuous, and they start using you and they start manipulating you. And the next thing you know, you're not feeling very happy about it. So you have to be really careful, I think, who you bring into your fold, so to speak. It's almost like, in my opinion, could be an interviewing process in a way, because if you just take on everybody on as a friend, the next thing you know, you got all these problems. And I know it sounds kind of hardcore what I'm saying, but you don't want negative people in your life. You're going to have enough of that just accidentally, let alone when you just encourage it.
I think if you pick friends that have a lot of money, it's always a lot more fun.
That's a good point.
Just kidding. No, yeah, I think it's okay when you're out there. I don't think you get to pick your friends, but the people that you are around.
You can pick the friends that want to be your friends, because there's a lot of people when you're successful, everybody wants to be your friend.
But to me, there's a difference between friend, casual friend, or close friend.
That's good.
So I think the ones that you see are always in it for themselves. They're not in it to help you or help others and not want anything in return. Unfortunately, that you don't learn immediately. It's done over time. So you have to kind of go through the dance and the process.
Right. But even with all that, after you recognize that they're users, you have to get rid of those people, because they're not a benefit to you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to bring you down. And you cannot be successmal as a person when you have all this negativity around you.
Yeah.
You're going to have enough negativity just accidentally.
Yeah.
Things that you have no control over. I mean, like as a parent, if you're a parent and you have children that are causing trouble, or you have a spouse that is going through a hard time and it's bringing you down. There's all kinds of reasons why you're going to have. It's a train in the background. We're right here by a train track. That's okay. We'll just talk a little bit louder. So, look, guys, you're going to have to really be careful about who you hang out with. Sometimes I'm very happy just to be alone, because I don't have to
I didn't hear a word you said.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, well, you know what? That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
That's right.
Have you heard that saying before?
Yes.
Where does that come from?
I don't know.
I love these old sayings.
I don't know.
Coming up with the origin of them, I think, is really fun.
Yeah.
We were talking last night at my dojo after class about different companies and the owners and the founders of these companies. We talked about Domino's Pizza. We were talking about McDonald's. We were talking about the Reese's Candy Company. Apparently, this guy worked for like a big company, and he came up with this. Accidentally, he burned some peanut butter, and he combined it with chocolate, and it was somehow it just had a different taste than regular peanut butter. And the company didn't want to take it on, so he opened up his own company, and obviously became very successful. But it was all by accident. So you never really know. Oh, Starbucks was the other company we talked about, the founder of that, Howard Schultz, who one time ran for president, was going to run for president, finally backed out. But a lot of these stories, guys, are people that talk about success stories that they start early on in their careers with a lot of difficulty, and they almost didn't make it. Like several of these companies we're talking about, just about like FedEx. Fred Smith started that company years ago, and he just about went broke at the beginning. He went to Las Vegas and gambled what money he had left and won. Fortunately, he was able to go back to Memphis, where his headquarters was, and then pay his payroll. And of course, the rest is history. He never looked back. But people don't know this. They see these companies and they think, oh my God, they're so successful. But they have no idea what they went through. So don't ever think when you're struggling that you're alone, because that's not uncommon to struggle a lot more in the beginning before you can ever have a shot at being successful. But to me, what's the old saying? I would rather try and fail as do nothing and succeed. In other words, why not take the shot? I don't care what it is, guys. Sports, business, doesn't matter. You have to enter that fray, take your chances, and don't worry about the outcome. If you fall down, pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and try again and try again. What was it, Thomas Edison? How many times did he try to make the light bulb?
I don't know.
Tell me. It was like hundreds and hundreds of different filaments until he finally came up with the filament that worked, that stayed, that didn't go out right away.
Yeah.
But we take it for granted because we've had, electric lighting for our whole life.
Yeah.
But back in the early 1900s, it wasn't so. Everything was candles. Everything was fuel, oil.
So I guess what you're saying is don't give up on your friends. Keep trying,
Keep trying.
experiment, because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, I think friends are a little bit different. Back to what we said about negativity.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, you got to get rid of the bad guys quick. If you don't, they'll just hang around and milk you dry. It's always about money. Hey, can I borrow 20? Can I borrow 50? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? And they won't work, and they just suck you dry, and it's just not worth it. I've been through this way too many times, and I've learned my lesson the hard way. The problem is that if you're a nice guy, nice girl, you don't want to say no to somebody. But you have to learn to say no if you're going to live a life that is progressive, because otherwise you're just burdened all the time with all these negativities. Okay, move on to the next subject. One of the subscribers, one of you guys said to me, let's see, being alone, is it okay? They don't have any parents, they don't have any friends. Well, I can relate to the no parents because my parents are both deceased. As far as the no friends thing, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. If you feel good about yourself, if you have a lot of self-confidence and you're busy doing what you enjoy doing, following your goals every day, it's not a bad deal to be alone. When I go home at night, which is usually probably close to midnight, all I want to do is eat a snack, take a shower, and go to sleep, and get back up the next morning at 7 or 8 o'clock and come back to my business and do it all over again. So, a lot of times friends are going to take you out of that loop. I can remember 10 years ago when I first started doing martial arts, almost 10 years ago, I would go to my gym at night and do martial arts, and all my friends were, oh, you don't go out with us anymore. Oh, you just don't care about us anymore. Oh, who do you think you are? And all that kind of stuff. And it's like, golly, I thought maybe they would encourage me and be happy for me, right? No, it's a selfish thing. Back to friends, real friends. So I don't associate with any of those people anymore, because a real friend would encourage you and want you to improve your life.
Yeah. Well, but I also think too, not everybody wants to be around people, and that's okay too. However, I think it's okay. Let's hypothetically say you like to read. Let's just use that as an example.
Okay.
If you want to join a book club where they meet weekly and they discuss a book that they're reading, you can interact with other people,
sure,
that have similar interests
in
to
a setting, in like a particular
and
setting.
these aren't close friends,
right,
but they're people that
sure
talk about,
with, yes.
Well, I dropped the kids off today, or here I did this
yes.
this weekend.
Yes.
And so it's an interaction with
yes.
other people.
Yes.
And I know a lot of people too that if you don't have any hobbies or anything you like to do, and if you like going to church, there's all kinds of activities at churches as well.
I agree with what you're saying.
So I think being around other people sometimes organically, indirectly cause friendships.
Let me answer their question. The question was, is it okay? Yes, it is okay. You don't have to follow any rules. Follow your own rules. It's your life. It's your world. Do what you're comfortable doing. If somebody wants to make fun of you for that, stand up for yourself. And we talked about that the other night about bullying. You have to stand up for yourself. If somebody wants to be negative and critical, then you stand up for yourself and say, hey, man, this is my life. I'm going to live it the way I want to live it. You live the life the way you want to live it. And if you really were somebody that cared about me, you would encourage me to go forward in the direction that I'm comfortable to be in.
Yeah. But if you're uncomfortable and you don't feel good about that situation, I think it's okay to start doing things that you like to do.
I agree.
You don't have to do something you don't like to do. Do something you like to do.
Once I'm going to agree with you.
Awesome. Speaking of that,
everybody gets my dry humor. Yes.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Yes. There was a rare blue-eyed cicada spotted at suburban Chicago. And the cicadas are supposedly taking over, and there's tons and tons of them throughout the United States.
These are like crickets, something like that?
And they're giant, huge flies. Here's a picture of one. Check it out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're big. They make a lot of noise. But my question is, who gets close enough to a cicada to find that it has blue eyes?
That's a great point.
I mean, who does that?
Probably a kind of, maybe a strange type person. An odd individual.
And then also, Today is National Flip Flop Day.
God.
They say each year on the Wednesday after Memorial Day, National Flip Flop Day encourages us to wear our favorite flip flops and show them off, getting ready for summer. So,
Who comes up with all this stuff?
there's other amazing days too.
Oh my
But
gosh.
one I thought you would find very, very, very exciting
Okay.
is that also it is today
Today.
is National Senior Health and Fitness Day.
Oh my
Today.
God, I love that.
I knew you'd
I
like that.
love that.
I knew you'd like it.
I love that.
I knew you'd love it.
I love that.
So that's all I got.
Back to fitness, guys. I just came from the gym. I only practice what I preach, so I'm not a hypocrite. Never wanted to be a hypocrite. And that's always given me a lot of encouragement, really, to follow through with my goals. Because I didn't want to be the guy that would preach, hey, you should do this and that, and then I didn't do it. I don't care for people that are like that. That's very, very disingenuous. So if I tell you guys something or we talk about something, it's because I've experienced it, not something I've read in a book. I mean, I read a lot of articles, but it usually goes hand in glove with my own life's experiences. It sort of justifies or rationalizes or complements what I've already learned on my own, maybe with some extra details. Okay, another one of our subscribers asked me this question: how do I keep promises to others? Well, that takes some discipline. That takes some effort. If you make a promise and you don't keep it, that's going to make you not feel so good about yourself. And there it begins to erode the self-esteem.
Only make promises you can
Keep.
keep, and always under promise and over
Yes.
deliver. So if you're going to make a
Well,
promise,
let's talk about it. Under promise and over deliver.
Yeah, if you're going to make a promise, then you need to not make too many. Take that one, making sure it's attainable and you can get it done, and then put a plan and a program together to get it done. But yeah, don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, this another subscriber said they have a 16-year-old that has a self-esteem problem going to high school, and that their teenager is really struggling. Well, let's talk about self-esteem, self-image, self-confidence. All this really hinges on the idea, in my opinion, of accomplishments. So I tell my students at the dojo all the time, you don't have to make great strides every day, just small improvements every single day. If you're consistent, you have to be consistent in your effort. Over the course of time equals a lot of success. And that's how you build high self-esteem, is by feeling good about yourself for doing things that aren't comfortable, overcoming adversity, hanging in there, not giving up, which is what most people do. They give up. They get very distracted. They don't have any patience. They want everything to happen right away. Life doesn't work like that, guys. I've been in business 50 years. I've had more downs than I've had ups, but the ups that I've had have been very good. And that's more than erased all the downs. And the idea that you've been able to experience all these ups and downs builds character and gives you a reference so that you can move forward when you're down, you go back up again. So so what if you go down? You've done it enough times that it's like, okay, I can go back up again because I've done it. I understand it and I know it's real.
I think another thing that would be very helpful, and it's because usually the teenagers, they're going through coming out of being a kid, going into adulthood, and
Okay.
they're learning and they're exploring, and they haven't seen a lot of the world yet of how
Right.
the world works. I can tell you from firsthand experience that we did this with my daughter, and that is we volunteered.
Volunteerism.
And then
That's a great thing.
they're not getting any money for doing this work that they're doing, but they do get to see what happens and how it changes other people's
And
lives.
how it helps people.
But it also shows them how grateful they should be.
Yes.
Because when we took her to this place it was homeless, and she was providing food for a lunch one day.
Okay.
She got to see firsthand that wow, I should be really, really grateful for
Yes.
what I have.
You don't
And-
realize how
and-
lucky
and-
you are until you
yes.
see other people that are really struggling.
Yes, yes. So I think volunteering is a good exercise. There's others out there, but that one is a good one.
So another subscriber said to me, "Hey, I'm really stressed out. Family business, health. I can't sleep." Well, I can relate to that. I can remember a lot of times in my career where I was just so disappointed in myself, right, because of failures, and looking for answers and trying to figure out why things had gone bad. Couldn't sleep, get up, down, up, down, up, down. Of course, another reason I couldn't sleep was I have to pee a lot. When you get old, your prostate swells up and it mashes down on the urethra tube, and you don't
Oh.
empty the bladder, so you have
Details.
to every couple of hours you got to get up and pee. But aside from that, I get what she's saying. I get the message. So here's my suggestion. A couple of things. One, you're going to have to figure out on each one of these subjects, family, business, why things are going bad that are causing you to feel bad, and work on that. At the same time, what's helped me and what continues to help me every day, I know it sounds repetitious, is go to the gym. Because when I go to the gym every day and do an hour of cardio and weightlifting, sometimes an hour and a half, I find that my ability, my brain's ability to be able to manage and get through uncomfortableness is like this much better. Now, there may come a point during the day where it wanes. Like if I eat something, I start kind of waning and I start kind of like going downhill a little bit, and I get a little bit maybe grouchier or feeling a little bit more stressed or don't feel quite as confident. But it's not like a big dip. It's like, like it wanes a little bit. But for the majority of the day, because of the workout, I am able to accomplish just about anything I want to do, including overcoming disappointments. So always back to the idea of working out, guys, and particularly doing cardio workouts. Like I do the Stairmaster. So I did like 60 floors today in 20 minutes. And I mean, I got a really good sweat on. I'll do weightlifting. You can walk, you can do the elliptical, you can run, you can swim. I think that's a lot more important than weightlifting because it just really builds your endurance, your cardio, your cardiovascular, and that has a big, huge effect on the brain. If you study this, you'll find out that the brain really, really, really responds to this sort of thing. And it's just like it's on, like all the endorphins are flowing. So you feel better. When you feel better, you can fight better. You can get through struggles better.
Yeah. I actually,
That's my suggestion for you.
No, I agree too on the walking. Walking that is something that I do.
Yes.
And it gives me a chance to reflect, think about, yesterday, today, and it organizes my thoughts
Okay.
for the day. And I do it in the morning. Everybody does it differently, but I do it in the morning, early. And it
That's good
gets
that
me kind of
you've been doing this for a long time.
focused for what I need to do for the day. The other thing that I do is, and this person probably needs to, it depends on how bad it is, but because family can really affect the business can affect the family, finances. You have
Yes.
to get some order to all of these, and you may require professional counseling.
Well, counseling's good though.
But I also have to have a downtime. I found when I sleep, the best
Yes.
is when I can have a couple of hours before I go to bed where I'm not having to stress about money, stress about family, stress about the job.
Well, still saying, if I had your money, I could burn mine. So I don't know why you're stressing about money.
Yeah. Well, I have to have that downtime. If I work up until, let's hypothetically say, which sometimes I do, go to bed at 10 p.m., and I work up till 10 p.m., I don't sleep at all.
Wow.
I'm still working while I'm sleeping.
Okay.
So I have to gear down.
Okay.
And that's me. It's different for everybody, but I had to find that too. Nobody told me that. I had to figure that out on my own.
I'd just like to say to our subscribers and our listeners out there that, look, we don't have all the answers, but hopefully some of the things that we tell you, you can try, and it does help. In some cases, maybe it helps completely. Maybe in some cases, it helps a little bit. Maybe in some cases, it doesn't help at all. Keep sending me messages back, and I'll keep responding. And we'll just all work together as a team to try to come up with solutions to whatever it is that's getting in your way of accomplishing the goals that you want to accomplish. How are we doing on time?
Well, we got a couple minutes. You want
Okay.
to close it up?
I got one more subject I'd like to talk about here. A subscriber said to me that they have a teenager that is having a hard time talking to others, and particularly during their bad days. And I guess my suggestion to the parent would be to try to, open up more communication to the child, and maybe get the child more involved in events. Like when I was growing up, I was in Boy Scout youth group, speech and debate, which is they could maybe be in sports. I think that the more that a child learns to interact and get them into martial arts, like we do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but you could take them to Taekwondo, karate, any of the martial arts. And it's a great way for a child to learn to be more interactive and be more comfortable within their own skin. So look, none of these things we're telling you are like going to be overnight successes maybe, but hopefully they definitely get you on the right track, help you, encourage you, and read more, study more about the topics that we're talking about. We don't have all the answers, but we've got some of them, and we can definitely help you get on that track, to find more solutions and different ways to solve these problems. That's my goal every day when we do these podcasts, is to at least be inspirational, at least to get you to where you feel like, hey, I got to come up with a way to overcome this because this is getting in the way of my quality of life. And I don't want that to be the case. I want my life to be happy and productive. And I think about that every day for myself. It's like, you're going to die. You're only going to live so long. Life is finite. The key is to be happy every day, or at least be productive every day. At least feel like every day is worth it. And all these suggestions that we're giving you, I think, sort of help you to get on that path and stay on that path. But you're going to have to do a lot of your own homework. We can't do it all. If we were one-on-one, it might be a little bit better because we could banter things back and forth as we're, in person together. But this is a tool. Our podcast is a tool, and it's not the we're all be all, but it's definitely helpful. And you guys have expressed that to us, and we appreciate that. And that's our goal. So, any closing thoughts, sir?
No, Google's amazing. You can find a lot on the internet.
Yes.
Now, yeah, you can go down a rabbit hole and be in there forever.
Yes.
But you want to find, or you can find good resources on Google to help you with a lot of these things.
And by the way, if I've left anybody out, sometimes I can't read my notes. Just send me another message back if I didn't answer some of your requests, and I will put that on the next podcast. I appreciate your patience. I need to work on my handwriting. It's pretty bad. Bad when you can't read your own handwriting. Somebody said I should have been a doctor. Anyway, guys, just remember, if you don't give up, which is not a good thing to do, and you definitely don't want to do that, sooner or later, those stars are going to line up. So in the meantime, on the way to that, always stay positive.